Your will make a fine addition to my collection.
So this happened. If you're looking at that and wondering why I just put up an image of some random website without much explanation, hello, and welcome to my channel. One of the things I do around here is talk about my time spent hunting for platinum trophies on Sony's systems, like the PlayStation 3, 4, 5, and Vita. For those of you not in the know, trophies are basically Sony's answer to achievements that you can earn on other platforms like Steam or Xbox. Though there are a few key differences, the most important one to me being this little guy right here. When you've completed all assigned tasks in a trophy list and the developer chooses to include one, you are then rewarded with a platinum trophy. And I spent a fairly considerable amount of my time doing just that. The website I showed just a bit ago is called psnprofiles.com, and it has been a great help to me in my trophy hunting journey. It's a site that tracks information about PlayStation trophies, cataloging the trophy list for basically any game that has them to make it easier for users to track their progress or find individuals to possibly help them with their own trophy hunting journeys. Simply make a profile, add the specific gobbledygook the site gives you into your PSN profile, and the site begins tracking every trophy you earn to permanently showcase your shame to the world. But the site does more than just track your personal descent into madness because you haven't earned a trophy in the Peppa Pig game yet. On top of showing you the percentage of players who have earned specific trophies relative to those who have signed up for the site, it also tracks your overall completion total for all the games you've earned at least one trophy in, how many trophies you have left to earn, how many you get in a single day on average, and important to our discussion today, your overall ranking. The site tracks your ranking based on two areas, where you at and you are here. And as of at least August 4th of this year, I have managed to sneak my grubby little self into the top 40,000 players around the world, but more importantly, the top 10,000 of US players on the site. Now, what does any of that mean? Well, to put it simply, I have played a lot of games, likely to the detriment of my relationship with others, and while playing those games, I've gone and done some truly silly and outlandish things for the sake of that aforementioned PNG of a digital trophy. I've spent hours upon hours just standing around in games like the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe or Saints Row the 3rd Remastered, doing basically nothing but killing time. Loaded and reloaded matches in games like Chivalry 2 over and over in the hopes of finding one I need, and even suffered through games like Orc Slayer or Road Bustle just to hear that melodic little ding. But the ones I plan to talk about today, they may have taken some genuine effort. It's not really often I have a chance to brag about myself, mainly because that's not something I personally enjoy doing. So I'm going to take this rare opportunity to do just that and run with it. Plus it gives me a chance to talk about 10 completely different games for once, so that's probably going to be a lot of fun. To make things simple for myself, I'm going to use this handy little tab on psnprofiles.com to show what the rarest trophies I've earned are. Keep in mind that these numbers are based on people registered with the site, but that just means I'm not factoring in the accomplishment of toddlers who also played through the Peppa Pig game. Why do I keep bringing up the Peppa Pig game? I haven't even played it. Yet. From there, I'll find the rarest trophy I've earned for each game that aren't the platinum, talk about the game itself and the rarest trophy I've earned in said game, and by the end, I will have bragged so much about myself and my accomplishments for once that I can go back to just talking about the good things other people have done, or just stuff I'd like to see in games again. And in case you're interested, here are my top 5 rarest platinums as of recording this video. Why am I sharing this here? Because why not? It seems thematic. So that's the premise. Fairly straightforward, fairly simple. Let's just jump right into it and talk about some of my rarest trophies I've earned to date, starting with... I'm not going to sit here and explain what Minecraft is. If you're watching this, there's like a less than 1% chance that you don't already know what Minecraft is. And if that's you, how are you even watching my videos from the cave you're living in? So instead, I'll turn my attention to the trophy that I earned in Minecraft that put the game on this list, that being Great View from Up Here. To earn this trophy, you must be levitated 50 blocks up into the air from the attacks of a shulker. Shulkers can only be found in end cities within the end, which themselves can spawn at random configurations that by the time you get one, you have to just hope it works for you. And even then, you have to basically be bombarded by like 3 of them to really get this to work for you. I was very lucky in that I found a tall tower with like 6 of them inside of it, and once I managed to hollow it out enough to allow me to freely float up, I earned the trophy. Simple as that. If anything, this one is difficult because of RNG, and just the fact that you have to do so much in-game just to get to the location in the first place. You have to first get to the end, defeat the end dragon, and then use an ender pearl to get to the end city. And when you finally get to one, you have to then find a spot that you can float up high enough with, and you need at least 3 shulkers in close proximity to that spot to do it. At least one of them higher up than the others to help keep you floating. I honestly wish I could just say you can go into creative and get it that way, but that's cheating. And also because the game doesn't let you do that with any of the trophies. Trust me, I tried for this one. All in all, this is one that I just happened to get by chance. Found the right conditions within an end city, and off I went Mary Blockins style. Granted, it's nowhere near as easy as achieving something in the Peppa Pig game, but still not all that hard if you're lucky. For the next one, it was less about random chance, and more about just playing a lot of the game with a friend. Gauntlet Slayer Edition is one of those games I've always wanted to get 3 friends together with and play through, and maybe that can happen now that we're focusing on multiplayer games here on the channel. But until that happens, I will have fond memories of playing this with Jimmy, and it's from the 2 of us playing through the game together that I earned the Dropper of Crowns trophy. To earn the Dropper of Crowns trophy, first get a crown.
Patrick, that's a pickle.
Yes.
While traversing the many dungeons of Gauntlet Slayer Edition, you'll occasionally come across enemies who are wearing a crown. Simply kill that enemy to send the crown flying, and pick it up to wear it yourself. If you get hit, you drop the crown. And so you pick it up again and wait to get hit again, and just do that 200 more times to earn this trophy. This is one that can easily be cheesed since you only really have to pick it up, get hit immediately to drop it, pick it up again, and then rinse and repeat until your hair is silky smooth. But I earned this well before I was on the trophy hunting kick that I've been on for a few years now. And so this was earned naturally through me and Jimmy competing for the crown literally any time it fell to the ground. I think this one is low simply because not a lot of people have played this game. There are less than 200,000 people on psnprofiles.com who own the game, so this is another one that's not really difficult, just a little surprising to see this high up. I could have just as easily cheesed my way into earning this one like I said, but instead I got it naturally and had a lot of fun doing it. The next trophy, however, I'll admit that I kind of cheesed my way into earning this one, but it's also another one that only really involves a bit of grinding to earn, so I'm still a bit shocked its completion rate is this low. The Escapists is a game about escaping from various prisons, learning the patterns of the guards or where there might be weaknesses in security to your advantage. You trade with your fellow convicts, buff up your skills, and gather everything you need before you make your escape. But that can sometimes take a while to do, and it can get very lonely in prison, so how about you meet up with some complete strangers in the completely separated, not conjugal at all visiting area. No hanky-panky for these incarcerated mates. All that the Never Be Alone Again trophy needs you to do is visit with 100 outsiders using the visitation center found in a few of the prisons. Literally just sit down in the chair, wait for someone to sit across from you, wait a second or two for them to say something, and then get up. Once they leave, just sit back down and repeat the process until the trophy unlocks. Like I said, it can be a bit of a grind, but I think it isn't completed as much simply because more people are busy preparing to escape rather than trying to make lasting connections with the outside world before they leave. Or if you're like me, you spend most of your time getting your speed up so you can survive more of the inevitable fights you'll get into while in prison. Enough speed training to basically run a marathon by the end. Unrailed is a resource management game about harvesting materials and using them to build tracks for your train to see how far you can go. The better you're able to manage resources, pick the right train parts, and move through the environment, the further you're able to get your locomotive. The game features a lot of challenges that mainly focus on you reaching certain distances or doing very specific tasks, but the one that I'll be discussing here is called Marathon. Marathon's description is fairly straightforward. Literally all you have to do is run a marathon. Unfortunately, it doesn't give much more information than that. And considering I'm woefully out of shape, I'm genuinely surprised that I not only have this one, but that I'm only one of 41 people who currently do. I looked into it a bit, and it turns out that you basically do have to run a marathon. You know, just in game. Simply move your character 42,195 meters, or just over 26 miles, inside one single run of the game, and boom, you get the trophy. Considering some of the trophies require you to make a track that travels 4,000 plus meters by itself, all you really need to do is zigzag your way across the map, harvest all the resources you can, and just do a whole lot of running in the meantime. Your calves might hate you for it later, but your trophy collection will thank you. On the plus side, this trophy relates directly to you performing actions within the game since the whole point of it is that you're constantly on the move. But blocky dinosaurs rushing towards the great unknown aren't the only killers constantly on the run achieving their goals. Dead by Daylight is a fairly simple concept. 4 players try to fix generators around an open area while avoiding a 5th player who is playing as a killer. If the 4 players fix enough generators, they can open gates to escape, but the killer is trying to capture them to sacrifice them to a spider entity, and the more they do that, the better their results will be. Both survivors and killers have access to various perks to help them in their individual endeavors, and the cycle repeats over and over again to make for a relatively fun multiplayer experience. So where does my achieving your goals comment from the last entry come in? Well, the trophy Adept Huntress is awarded to someone who plays as the Huntress, one of the killers that I would most willingly date, and all you have to do is use your 3 unique perks to earn a merciless victory. That basically means you can only use the 3 perks that are assigned to the Huntress, and you have to then sacrifice all 4 of the survivors to achieve this. So in a sense, you're like kinda connecting with 4 other players to help you achieve this goal. I mean, if that doesn't work, then how about the fact that the Huntress uses throwing axes to attack the survivors, and, like her goal is trying to kill them, so, that can help her achieve her goal? I honestly don't know at this point. I just really like playing as the Huntress, and it was a stretch to make this joke transition. I get that. I should have made a Peppa Pig joke, so I'll just move on. This is the most recent trophy I've earned on this list, and likely will shift out of this position as time goes by and more people earn it, but for now, here we are. My as of right now 5th most rare trophy for a game that I honestly didn't know if it was going to be good when it was announced. Multiverse is Warner Bros.' answer to Super Smash Bros., combining the wacky whimsy of character crossover combat with a free-to-play model that's only minorly predatory. Many of the trophies for this game involve just playing the game, getting specific types of knockouts, or playing specific matches, and for some of them it can be a real grind. Just like with this one. To earn, and your little dog too, players need to earn a total of 100 double knockouts, which basically means you have to knock out at least 2 opponents off the map at the same time. So right off the bat, you have to not only worry about other players, but also that they're lined up in just the right way, that you hit them with just the right attack, and that they're both high damage enough to possibly be knocked off with the same attack. It is a massive grind trying to get this one for sure, but it's one that can almost hilariously be cheesed thanks to the custom games feature the game has. I will admit that I earned about 20 double ringouts using a cheap method of using low-ranking AI to basically knock them all out of the arena. By the time I discovered the cheap method I used to earn this trophy, I only really had like 15 to 20 double ringouts left to earn, so I was kind of okay just getting it out of the way. All you really need to do is choose a fighter like Shaggy or Taz who have a good side attack and fight 3 very easy difficult AI enemies and send them flying off screen at the same time. It's almost silly how easy it was to earn a number of trophies with this method. Not even just this specific one, but a couple of other ones in the game that I wasn't even trying for with this. A shame there isn't as easy a cheat for this with our next trophy. Race the Sun is an endless runner type game where you play as a solar powered glider bobbing and weaving between obstacles to see how far you can make it. However, as you play, the sun is slowly setting, and since your craft can't store solar energy for some reason, you basically need the sun out to survive. So go as far as you can for as long as you can, and that's all the game is. There are a few optional game modes as well that ramp up the challenge or offer unique little divergences, but for the purposes of this video, we're focusing on the main game and the trophy simply titled Jaeger. To earn the Jaeger trophy, you must play through 6 sections of the game without dying or hitting anything with your wings. It seems easy at first, but by the time you get to rounds 3 and 4, you're moving so fast and the obstacles get closer together, making for a nerve-wracking experience, and you still have 2 other areas to clear. The game also supports VR play, but I recommend not trying this particular challenge with the headset on, unless you're prepared to fly face first into some walls. The game itself is as addictive as you might expect an endless runner of its kind to be, and getting this trophy only came naturally to me as I played and perfected my runs. For a game like Race the Sun, that's easy enough to get into the swing of things, but if you were to, say, drop in 39 other players to attempt to accomplish a similar sort of goal, I don't think it would be so easy. Fall Guys is one of those games I don't think I need to explain too much about since a lot of people know about it by now, but the gist is basically this. You play as a bean running on fantastical obstacle courses trying to be the last one standing, putting a platforming spin on the otherwise shooter-heavy battle royale genre. Naturally, the game had trophies associated with completing objectives and winning the game, but there was one trophy that really tested a player's skill within said game. Infallible is one of those trophies that became the bane of trophy hunters everywhere when Fall Guys first came out. It was either seen as a badge of honor being one of the few people who had earned it, or a blight on your progress towards the platinum that just seemingly would never go away. For the longest time, I was in that latter category, trying and failing consistently to get even a single win and reserving myself to never earning the platinum. And then Sweet Thieves came out. Sweet Thieves is an optional, rotated in and out game mode in Fall Guys where one team of 4 must protect pieces of candy from 8 mostly invisible adversaries. The 8 are invisible while walking slowly or standing still, but become barely tangible when running, making things a bit difficult for the 4. But if one of the 4 can grab a quick hold of a Sweet Thief, they are transported to a jail waiting to be freed. If all the thieves are captured, or if the thieves can steal enough sweets, the game ends. So, in order to earn Infallible, you need to win 5 times in a row. But the trophy's requirements don't limit you just to the main show. Simply put, I once again kinda cheesed my way to victory with this one, since I was playing through Sweet Thieves instead of the main show, but I still had to make sure I was on a winning team for 5 consecutive games to do so, and more than once got 4 wins, only to lose at the very last round due to circumstances out of my control. Regardless, I earned the trophy and have since won the main show a bunch of times, so I'm okay with how this one ended up. It took patience and in some cases precision, kind of like trophy number 2. I don't really have much else to say here since this is a trophy I've already talked about extensively in a video before, but to put it simply, Fechter's Challenge is the one thing that kept me from awarding Stardew Valley with a platinum tier in my platinum trophy ranking video, and is just sort of a bane on my existence. Fechter's Challenge requires you to not die once while playing an arcade game, inside of a farming simulator slice of life game. Even just completing the game once can be a chore, so having to do all that farming, collecting, and romancing while also having to spend potentially hours in the saloon trying to get this one is not ideal. But thankfully, Fechter's Challenge got a lot easier thanks to one of the game's updates, and you can hear all about that in my trophy tips video on the subject. And as far as that video is concerned, I'm assuming it's helped out a few of you since a bunch more people have earned it since I made that video. Maybe by the time I do another one of these videos down the road, this will be bumped up the list a bit, but who knows? Either way, that's that one done, and now we move on to the big one, the rarest trophy I have to date. And unfortunately, like a few other entries on this list, it's not really all that impressive if I'm being honest. Has Been Heroes is a strange game. It's an action strategy game with roguelike elements developed by Frozenbyte and originally distributed exclusively at GameStop, and that's just how you can best describe the overall experience. The story is about a group of heroes, 2 of whom are retired and the 3rd who is a big fan of theirs, escorting 2 princesses to Princess Academy and having to fight swarms and swarms and swarms of monsters on the way. The more you play, the more you unlock, including new powers, buffs, playable characters, enemies, locations, bosses, and so very much more. The game is jam-packed with content, but barely anyone has played it. As of me writing this, I am one of less than 1,700 or so people on PSN profiles who even own Has Been Heroes, and I technically own it twice since I bought it originally for the Switch. 4 of my overall top 10 trophies are from this game, and me being only the 32nd person to earn what is currently my most rare trophy to date. But what is that trophy? Well, in Has Been Heroes, whenever you defeat an enemy, you basically get to harvest their souls, Dark Souls style. Doing so fills up one of 2 power meters that let you use special spells that you get throughout the game, but also contributes to progression when you inevitably end your run. If you live through the final boss, you unlock additional heroes and content, but if you die, you are sent to the Pearly Gates and are met by a monk-like character who collects all of the souls you've earned throughout your current run into the Grand Soul Orb. Get enough souls to reach a predetermined threshold, and you're rewarded with additional content, usually more spells or items to potentially find as you start your next run. And that's it. Orb of Legends is earned by completing that specific task 100 times. Don't get me wrong, it takes a lot of souls to fill this bad boy up, but I feel like it's so much less impressive than some of the other trophies on this list. I mean, I played a bunch of a game to the point of near madness? Whoop-de-doo. As of me recording this video, that's my rarest trophy I've earned to date. Some of these genuinely took effort, others I lucked into, and some were sort of just handed to me because I did a thing and not many others have done said thing. But there you go. And before you ask, yes, I did actually go out and buy and play through the Peppa Pig video game as I was making this video, just so I could keep making jokes about it. I even went out and got this Peppa Pig plush that I got because I support my friends. And according to the title of my shiny new platinum trophy, Peppa Pig and I are friends forever now. I'll talk more about unlocking that particular platinum and more early next year when I talk about all the platinums I earned in 2022, so I guess you'll just have to wait with bated breath for what I have to say about a game made for literal toddlers. If you're the kind of person who goes out and hunts trophies or achievements in games regardless of platform, What's your rarest one to date? It can be on a site like PSN Profiles, it can be off of those dashboard itself, doesn't really matter to me. I'm just kind of curious to know. So let me know down in the comments below. Be sure to follow all the socials you see on screen right now. Subscribe if you haven't, and I will see all of you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and take care.